Walking Dead upstairs. You all found your way to the right area, right? Thanks for waiting through all that traffic. You're not here to see me, though. Let's welcome two awesome cast members from The Walking Dead. First, you remember her as Karen, Melissa Ponzio. And of course, it was a heart-wrenching week a couple of weeks ago, right? Let's welcome Tyreese, Coleman. Thank you both so much for being here in Chicago this weekend. We warmed it up a little bit. It's like 20 degrees outside just for you guys.
Thanks for that, Matt. We'd like to thank everybody for coming out. It's really great to see everybody. We really appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Melissa, let's start with you because Karen has not been with us for a little while now. Take me back to your working relationship on The Walking Dead and tell me a little bit about how grueling. I think we all watched The Talking Dead after the show, right? And you guys go over the scenes and how they went, and it all looks nice and neat and orderly. How difficult is a day when you're doing battle or getting dressed up for scenes or having to figure out choreography?
Well, I think Chad would agree that there's really no bad day on set. Every day on set is a good day, but sometimes we have environmental things or special effects that kind of can tax us, or environment like 90-degree humidity and everything in Atlanta. But it's a lot of fun, y'all. It's a lot of fun, and it's just a pleasure. Even when you have 5 gallons of blood that you have to be dragged through, and it's in every single crevice of your body, it's still a lot of fun. Still a lot of fun.
By the way, if you guys have questions for Melissa or Chad, you can walk down to the microphones on the side and get a line. We'll take lots of questions from you all here in a little bit. Chad, let's talk a little bit about Tyreese, because 2 weeks ago you had basically the Tyreese episode. That was...
I'm trying to tweet something, man. Hold on.
Hold on.
So anyways, the Tyreese episode...
Yes, Melissa, please tell me.
was all about me.
You know what? Here's the question, though.
Yes.
That episode was not enough about you. Why aren't you there telling him it's better now?
Okay, well, creatively, I don't believe that Karen was ever part of Tyrese's flashback dream sequence there.
Right.
And I think that we have to owe it to the creatives of The Walking Dead to know why each of those characters were specifically there. Some have offered to me that maybe, and Chad can speak to this later, that maybe Tyrese's character was at peace with Karen's death. And also maybe if Karen was there, that might have maybe drawn Tyreese sooner to his death, because maybe he wanted to be there. But creatively, again, all those people were there for a very, very specific reason.
That's correct.
Right?
For me...
Now I get to tweet.
That was seamless.
Bitch, now I get to tweet, bitch.
We worked it. This is how we worked it out. You see how our relationship was. You see how our relationship was. That's the deal. At the end of the day, what it came down to was Tyreese suppressed all the things that he couldn't really come to terms with. So when he reached that point where his blood pressure was low and he was falling into the state of delusion, the things that came back for him were the things he hadn't come to terms with. She said it great. He was at peace with Karen. He was at peace with Sasha. So the folks he wasn't at peace with, he was never at peace with the governor, because he was almost seduced by a madman. He wasn't at peace with Martin. Martin almost killed Judith and tried to take his life. He wasn't at peace with the death of Bob, of Lizzie, Nika, or Beth. They all died horrifically. That he could not come to terms with that. So when that happens, when someone you love passes away in a horrific way, what's the best way for you to be able to cope with it? It's for them to come back and tell you it's okay. And they one-upped me and said, it's okay, come on over here with us. So, you know, but that's why those specific characters, that's one level of it. Another level representing heaven and hell, if you want to go that route, you know. So you got all different ways you can look at it, but that's a testament to the writing of Scott Gimple. Well, but I will say this to you, I was incredibly disappointed from point A, because she's incredibly talented. She's a fierce force of nature, physically. She's beautiful. Y'all know I'm not sitting and telling you she's not beautiful. So
I'll give you 20 minutes to stop that.
To go to work with her though, because she's fiercely smart and talented. So to work with her, I mean, we were just on the cutting edge of something to me.
Thank you. That's
I think we had the kind of chemistry that Melissa McBride and I have. So maybe it's a thing with actors named Melissa. I'm kind of, I don't know. But no, so I was, really, really, really disappointed in a major way that they didn't give us more time together. But what we did do in a short period of time, I think, touched the hearts of people, and that's the most important thing.
Damn that, Carol. She cut you short.
No, and thank you for your kind words, and I would say the same for you. You're such a gentleman and so sweet,
Thank
and
you.
so kind, and so strong.
Ah.
Give it up for Tyreese,
Chad, let's go back to the last time you're going to see Karen. You're bringing her flowers.
Yes.
I would look back at Tyreese and maybe say, was that the last time he was at peace or hopeful with the world that he was in?
Can we talk about that scene that we shot that didn't make it in? So, right?
Yeah, right.
So, after the massacre in the prison, and we're looking at the child that was killed, there was a scene that actually you guys didn't get to see that we shot, where we kind of move over to my cell, and Tyreese says to Karen, I don't want to wait anymore.
Right.
And we have some dialogue, and we begin, y'all, to completely pack up my cell, because we were moving in together, which was tantamount to marriage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so then the next scene that you guys would have seen is him bringing those beautiful yellow flowers to me at our home, because we had moved in.
Right.
Which you guys didn't get to see. So, like, it was real. It was real what we were doing there.
Right.
And unfortunately, everybody didn't get to see that, but that's what that moment was.
So in a way, I mean, that was Tyrese's last hope. Tyreese remained so human during the show. He didn't want to give in to what this world has become. He did. I think Rick has really evolved into accepting this is how we have to live this life. And Tyreese was really trying to hold on to, no, let's do the right thing no matter what the cost is to us. And here was this beautiful moment where he's found love, and then that gets torn away from him. Was Tyreese ever the same after that?
Oh no, not at all. I think he was deeply scarred, you know. But Carol is a wonderful example of, or kind of the flag bearer that in this post-apocalyptic world, there's just baggage and hurt and stuff and horrific thoughts and deep, incredible pain that you just have to learn to live with and keep moving forward. So I think that was always kind of like, not the disclaimer, but the tagline. Like, dude, it's gonna be incredibly weighty and heavy, but you got to keep moving forward. And as Jesse Jackson used to say, keep hope alive, but hope looks different in this world. So just the smallest bit of it, you've got to hold on to it, and it's a tough deal. But I think, like I said, Carol was certainly like a great teacher of that. And the greatest hope for me, though, was one day we will return to quote-unquote normal. And who are we going to be when we get there if we let this whole deal just twist us all inside and out? So maintaining that hope and that humanity was incredibly important, because he believed that we would get to a better future.
With the whole hallucinations at the end, especially at the end with Bob and Emily and the girls, telling you it's better now, and they keep repeating it. Finally, you're in the car with them. Their scars, their injuries are all gone, and you're finally ready to let go. That's a tough thing for us to grapple with, I think, because if we're in this world where we're trying to survive, yet we're being told there is something better, maybe it's time to let this world go. Is that just in Tyreese? Because if you were able to tell somebody, okay, we're doing all this, but really, if we just let go, it does get better, or is that just his way of accepting my fate is here and I must just go on to the next life?
No, that was just all the actors that got killed off saying, man, it's okay, you get another job. You get another job. It's really all right. You're no longer on the show, Chad. It's okay. Don't trip about it. No, of course.
You will work again.
You will work again. No, absolutely. You know, we all know what that suggests. And if you care to entertain that point of view and that thinking, yeah, of course, you know, if you believe in an afterlife, then okay, on some level we were demonstrating that. And, you know, to me, hey, listen, death, I'll tell the people, death is for the living. So it's for you and how you process it while you are alive. That's the real value of it. If there is or isn't an afterlife is not even the point to me until somebody actually comes back. You know, it'd be nice if they step on the stage right here, right now. But until then, it's for you to be at peace in your heart and for you to be able to live your life with joy and kindness and sympathy and empathy and all that good stuff. So that's how I see it.
That's deep. That's good. Yeah.
We have some questions. We have people lined up, but we can't see up here because of the lights. Are the people at the microphones waiting to ask a question? You guys have a microphone in front of you? Go ahead, right over here.
Hi, questions for Chad. I know when you lost Karen, you went through some tough times and anger. How do you think you dealt with your feelings with Noah? Were you angry with him at the end?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you saw Tyrese's growth in his approach to Noah. What he saw himself, you know, and he didn't see himself in a way that was like, dang, man, you're right, this is all just screwed up, it's terrible. No, he had perspective by that time, and he was able to share with this young man what his experiences were, but as opposed to making it something that defeated him, it became something that was, his attempt was to inspire this young man to continue to move forward and to see that positivity. And he always said that forgiveness was really seeing it. Rage was the thing that blinds you from it. But the intrinsic value of forgiveness is you stop beating yourself up and you stop resenting the person, the world, and you move into that place of acceptance, which is where the real strength is and the real power is. And accepting that there are certain things that you may never wrap your head around. And that's just the way it is, but it doesn't steal from you that part of you that is incredibly hopeful and what we are at our best as human beings. Does that make sense?
You actually stepped away from the microphone, but that was a very in-depth answer, and I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. We have a question right over here. Go ahead.
I see people, man. Thank you.
What was your favorite part of being on the show?
For both of you, your favorite part of being on the show?
Craft service.
My favorite part of being on the show is watching walkers eat lunch. And watching a walker choose which salad dressing to use with all this bizarre makeup on. That's just the funny stuff.
Tell us a little bit about that. You've never had to be walkers, but when you see people go through that, how long is it? Are those guys there 4 hours before you and still a couple hours till they're ready to go?
Well, yeah, I mean, I came close. I was one of the few that was able to go into the special effects makeup trailer and actually come out alive. If you remember, Rick pounded my face in after I got a few shots. And so I had this swollen eye. And so for me, that was probably about for 40 minutes with this 6'7" guy named Jake, who's a part of Greg Nicotero's team and is an amazing guy. So I would be in there with some of the walkers being made up, and it's just a sight to behold what they have to go through. So big ups to everyone who plays a walker. We can't do it without you. You guys sacrifice so much time and energy, and it is a great return, but it may not be the same return that we get. So I just want you to know how much I love and appreciate you.
Let's talk about that scene where you and Rick get into the fisticuffs. Did you let Andrew Lincoln know this is clearly fiction now because I would take you out in a heartbeat?
I don't have to state the obvious. I call him Big Link. He's a big boy in heart. He's a big boy in his leadership skills. He is truly our fearless leader. But physically, man, you know.
Let's go back to the microphone over here. You have a question, sir?
Yeah, this question's for Chad. My wife and I are huge fans of your work on The Wire. I was curious, you got to work with Lawrence and Seth with The Walking Dead again now here. How would Cuddy have survived in this world? Would he have survived lasted longer than Tyreese?
I don't know that it would, because I don't know that he was as long-suffering as Tyreese is. You know, Tyreese had the patience of Job. Tyreese was like the president, like he's just gonna take forever to make a decision. And I think Cuddy was more knee-jerk, and I think more knee-jerk and more like his physical prowess could handle things. That's kind of how he defined himself, even in helping the kids. If you remember, almost a Noah-like character came to him.
Yeah.
It was Dookie, and he said, hey man, this is what I know. I can't help you. You can't do this in this box. I mean, you have no talent there. But I see there's something in your head. There's some intellect there that I can't touch because I really know this. So I think that Cuddy would have been limited in that world and probably have been more knee-jerk, reactive, and maybe got taken out earlier as opposed to Tyreese. I think Tyreese's intellect and his just straight up really natural heart for people is a true gift.
Thank you.
Tyreese is the big user of the hammer on the show. That was his weapon of choice.
Absolutely.
Did you have to go through a lot of hammer training, or is it like, no, here's a rubber hammer, just go beat the snot out of people with it?
I just went to Home Depot, got a hammer, went in the backyard, you know. No, and that's the beauty of it, the simplicity of that weapon. And also that's where you can use your physical prowess to be in more close combat with the zombie. But you know, you don't have to worry about too much aim. You're never gonna run out of bullets.
Right.
You're never gonna lose the crossbow arrow. You're
Right.
gonna go, oops. You can never shoot yourself in the eye with it. So I love the hammer.
Yeah, everybody's got good aim at 2 feet.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, because
I take those odds. You know what I'm saying?
because you got teased early on about your prowess with the gun.
Which was wonderful, man. And I've shared this story with you guys. I used to be in the U.S. Army. I spent 4 years in the military. Thank you. And so when I went to basic training, I was a squad leader. And once we got to the whole M16 firing deal, I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Thank you. I never held a weapon in my hand before in my life. I'm 18 years old, so I'm holding this weapon. I'm excited, you know, I see it as a game, but I start to fire, and I know you guys can't see me, but I'm in the foxhole, I fire the weapon, and my leg starts going, like, and so the sergeant goes, what's wrong with you, Coleman? What are you, Elvis? So all this adrenaline started to run through me, and I had a tough time because you have to be incredibly calm to be an accurate marksman. So I had a really tough time. So I told at the time Glenn Mazzaro, I said, this is funny, man, but this is art imitating life. Because I did have a tough time initially firing the M16 because I have a lot of energy in me. And I had to learn to just kind of deaden all that energy out and just focus on that target. Now, I made it through. You had to get 23 out of 40 to qualify. So I came running up the hill. I was like, yeah. And they were like, what, you're an expert? I'm like, no, I'm a marksman, but I made it. Because you would have to go back through the training again. And I just did not, I'm a squad leader and I'm gonna be a retread. That didn't look so good. So art imitated life as far as that was concerned. Later on, I became an expert shooter, you know. No question about it. I could, the American Sniper, I can do all that now. But early on, it's a different story.
Back in the day. Let's go back to Woodbury and the governor, because you had such issues coming to terms, Chad, with the governor as your life was ending, and you were in the governor's camp. Tell me about Woodbury. Did it start out better than it was? Was it always bad? Was it when the governor's daughter died that he started changing, or do you think from the very beginning it was an evil place disguised as a better place?
Oh no, I think it was a good place at a time. At least for me, I think it was a good
Totally
place.
agree.
And you know, Lori Holden and I had a lot of conversations, and you know what our friendship would be. You know, because I always like to say, if she was Snow White, then I was her Rose Red, as far as like counterpart sisters.
Sure.
And so yeah, I think it was a slow burn for everybody. You've been in any situation and you kind of look around and you're like, there's something wrong. Can't quite put my finger on it, but this doesn't feel like it was yesterday. And so I think it was kind of like that, and then slowly but surely, you know, because a lot of people say, you know, even over the weekend, they were like, oh, Karen was so tough in Woodbury. I think you had to be tough in Woodbury. I think you had to you learn quick, and you move with cat-like swiftness to survive.
Can there be you move with cat-like swiftness when you put dead bodies over top of you to make sure you know.
Right.
Yeah, I love that.
Can there be a good place in this world? I mean, every time the survivors are running into somebody, they turn out not to be such good people. I mean, it's very rare that, you know, people have been added to the team a little bit along the ways who turn out to be good, Tyreese and his group being one of them. But so often we meet people, we go to Terminus, we go to Woodbury, and then things are just awry. Now we're going to start finding out tonight what's next with the new people they're meeting. But are there no good people left in the world? And would Rick be able to recognize good people when he saw him? He seems so ready now to expect the worst. Are they going to be able to accept a good thing if it ever comes?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. That's why we talk about how long suffering Tyreese was, you know. It's, you can't make a sweeping judgment, or you shouldn't. It's difficult. You gotta just take on each case and be patient as you can. I hope they will be able to do that and recognize that if you exist and you know who you are and what you're about, in spite of all your struggles, then there should be something in that person that you can identify with that's intrinsically about you. We would hope. But how it plays out, well, we all know how it can play out sometimes. But we've got to believe that. I think inevitably you don't have a show if it's just, well, it's all the hell in a handbasket. We don't have a show. We have a show because these people matter and they want to survive, whether they understand what they're surviving for or not.
I don't know, some guy shows up to the door that cleanly dressed. I'm very suspicious, I think. You guys haven't had showers in about, 18 months, and this guy walks in all, hey, everybody, I know you don't trust me.
Yeah, listen, the governor was incredibly intriguing to me, and I tell you, as an actor, if I had to play another role, I would love to play the governor.
Really?
Yeah, he's the antithesis of, Tyreese.
Yeah.
But if you look throughout history, some of the most maniacal leaders were incredibly charismatic and fiercely intelligent. And then you just wonder, it just takes one screw loose and then they're off in another direction, So that's why I always found him incredibly compelling, because You go, you see Hitler, and, all sorts of others.
Sure.
But then he's got a child in a closet that he can't take her out. So, doesn't that make him have something in common with Tyreese? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how interesting he is.
Well, and could Rick ever head down that same road? I mean, Rick has really teetered on the brink a few times here.
Absolutely.
He's this charismatic leader
Yeah.
who easily, if it wasn't for the group around him,
That's right.
I think would be off in the woods just having lost him.
Yeah, but he keeps listening. In spite of those moments when he's not, he somehow hears what he needs to hear to steer it back on course. And that's the mark of a great leader. Someone who can really listen and recognize that the people around you are just as valuable to the leadership cog as you are.
Absolutely. Let's get back out to the microphone.